Alright, so welcome to Chillquarium. It's an aquarium and it's chill. Honestly, this game isn't a tremendous amount of anything. It's a game that you're supposed to be playing over the course of multiple days. You're supposed to let it sit and come back to it once a day to feed your fish and see how they've grown. I, on the other hand, use it as an excuse to talk about absolute nonsense for an hour. So if you're looking to enjoy pure, unadulterated tangents, then this video is the one for you. Thanks so much for stopping by, though. I really appreciate it. If you are new here, by all means, please click the subscribe button. It's free and it helps out a great deal, as well as liking the video. And if you want to catch these tangents and this complete insanity live, then link is in the description for twitch.tv. Have a great one. Enjoy. Welcome to Chillquarium. Home of nothing but hard metal, hard rock. This is a game about opening up packs of fish, seeing what we get here. Got our tank now filling up, lovely. Wonderful. Your fish will grow up in real time, but they grow much faster if you feed them. Raise 2 fish to adulthood. So let's put some fish food in the tank. Oh yeah, give them all some XP here. I've never really been a fish person, admittedly. Like, I love fishing games, but there's always been a part of me that's like, man, fish are kind of pointless. No disrespect to fish, right? If there's any fish watching. But I'm kind of like, man, fish feel kind of pointless half the time, man. That seems so mean. I know people love fish, but catching them is infinitely more interesting to me than raising them. I did go fish at my mother's place back when I was a kid, but I'd go out and I'd like give them their food and stick my finger in the pond because I'm a child and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Adult fish earn money over time. The longer they take to mature, the more money they make. Fish that grow up very quickly earn very little. Sell to adult fish. Okay, so we can get you for $5. Get you for Oh, hold on. Get you for $5 as well. $20. Lovely. Now, oh wait, this is going to take a little bit more for us to get more packs of fish here. That being said, though, we do have a tank capacity that we can crank up to the maximum. We got a golden common. Love to see that. We just start feeding our fish. How's your fish walking? It's a snail, bro. What do you mean? He's on a whole nother level. I've been playing so many job games that it has definitely made me like, I don't know if it's the job games. I mean, I've been like moving furniture and stuff like that, or helping as hard as I can, even though I wish I could do more. Over the last week or so, and it is, I'm like, and then also my mother and brother came over like last weekend. And I spent the afternoon with them and be like, you know, trying to like do stuff to the garden. I have definitely been a little bit more on my like home improvement era. I'm Tim Allen. I did mow the garden, got the lawnmower out. Did I, however, also accidentally run over the cord with the lawnmower? Yes, I did. Okay, yes I did. I ran over the lawnmower and immediately cut the power just for the snail. We'll feed the snail. They're doing everything they can to steal from this guy, man. This is criminal behavior. What do we got here? You're gonna be $5 to sell. You earn $300 per day. That's pretty swag of you. What do we got here? I mean, some of these take a lot. This 14,000 XP is a rare snail. We can keep feeding them though. You ran over the lawnmower. Well, it's an electric lawnmower. I mean, I don't really know what the benefits of like petrol versus electric is, but yeah, I have an electric lawnmower, and I admittedly, I'm not gonna sit here and $50. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I had a drink. Yeah, I had a drink. But I was like, that was like one of my biggest fears of mowing the lawn. That I was like, I'm gonna run over this thing and it's gonna go badly. And for like over an hour, I was totally fine. And then I took my eye off the ball for like literally 5 seconds, and it was c'est la vie to the cord. Apparently, it's like pretty easy to fix. But that was, I mean, that was a statement that came from an electrician. So like, I'd imagine, yeah, it's pretty child's play for an electrician to fix it, but for Joe Schlub like me, I'm just built different. What can I say? But everything is super duper easy if you have been doing it your entire life. That is very true. When I admittedly, I mean, granted it was B's dad. If he was like, you know, came to me and he was like, Ross, I'm really struggling to like, to Alistair combo in League of Legends, I'd be like, it's really easy. Here's how. And that's maybe slightly different. It's like the same thing, I guess, because I've been Alistair comboing since like 2010, you know. But you know, it's just you know, but like putting, I guess like one is, you could argue, more useful than the other. But yeah, he still misses the combo. Yeah, for sure. Nobody's perfect, right? Come on, man. Everybody misses an Alistair combo here and there. Sometimes you just have like off days, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think I've lost a game of League of Legends today. I don't know how many I played, but I'm pretty sure I won them all. And I will admit that, like, I'll be the first to admit that I did not deserve to win a single one of them. Except, you know what, I did play one game of Malphite where I was kind of rocking out with my rock out. And it was, yeah, no, it went pretty well, man. It went pretty well. We're not getting a tremendous amount of money, but we do have to, I mean, honestly, yeah, we need rent's due. What do we want here? Upgrades, plus 5 XP per food. That is something that we want, for sure. That's going to mean faster fish. You know what? Get rid of the golden common. We might actually be able to afford it now if we sell all of our fish that are adults. We're quite close. $10, $5, $5, and then are you an adult over there? $5, almost exactly enough. Now we're gonna have some large lads coming in. Oh, look at that immediately. Was that a $1 trillion tank? It very well may have been. It's made out of vibranium. Is that the Black Panther thing? I can't remember. I don't remember. I did the same thing with the hedge trimmer. My hedge trimmer is also... Well, I have like a strimmer and a hedge trimmer. My hedge trimmer is like battery powered, so like I can't run it over. Honest to God, this is going to sound like completely psychotic, right? But the hedge trimmer that I have, I don't know if it's the same for every hedge trimmer, but it's just like blades that go really fast on the left and right. And it scares me because like I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, I wonder like what would happen if I stuck my finger in that. And I'm like, you gotta just disavow the intrusive thoughts, man. Disavow the intrusive thoughts. Disavow the intrusive thoughts. I don't know what is wrong with my brain that I think that, but had to change cords on a lot of power tools. As long as you can open the cover easily, it should be fairly easy to replace. Yeah, probably. But like, once again, like, I don't have a tremendous amount of man skills, unfortunately. The chainsaw on a stick is the one that terrifies me. I don't know if I'm familiar with what you're talking about, but that does sound terrifying. $10, $5, we sell you off. How's my snail doing? My snail's almost mature. Nice. He put both hands in his head. The food was getting spawned. Yeah, I've learned that you can just like click one time, and it will just like, and if I click again, it stops. And that's. I mean, I appreciate that we're technically actually not playing a game anymore, but like, still, man, it was my third arm. Very true. Very true. $36. You know what? Have a look. Let me see what the other upgrades we got going for us are. Increased capacity. 2 million. Is that? That's a billion. It's not a trillion. That's a trillion. That's a trillion. That one. The fourth one. That is. Yeah, that's definitely a trillion. It's a branch. Oh, right. Okay, I get what you're saying. It's wonderful in a lot of ways how like how easily it really is to injure yourself with a lot of power tools that we keep within our homes and use maybe on a daily basis. a weed whacker. Is a weed whacker like the same as a strimmer? Strimmer is just basically like a piece of like a plastic thing that spins around. Awesome. We got our big snail. Now, I'm gonna say sayonara to you. You actually cost a lot to get going, and yet didn't actually give me that tremendous amount of a payout. I think... You know what? Send me on a decent amount of money here. What stuff that we've already seen before? We got some rares. We got painted common. Swag. Any other particularly good ones? Another painted common. And an epic. Okay. Get the food down. It's like let's lure everybody over so we're all eating from the same trough here. How are you supposed to get over the hump and start making real money? That's where you're wrong, because it's as with all these games, it is always about the journey and not the destination. You ever gonna or have you played Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel? I swear you. I mean, I have played it and I made videos on it. Yeah, you should definitely look up Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's Exodia on turn 1 on the RossBoomsocks channel. That one will blow your mind. The kids still talking about it to this day. The snail gave like $1.3 a day and only sold for like 5 or 6. Yeah, but that's $1.3 a day in real time. So like, yeah, that's gonna pay dividends if I come back to this in a week. Or alternatively, as real days, yeah. That's real days, brother. What was the other meme deck that you did? I had quite a few meme decks. There was like DD Dynamite, which was like about like exiling your own stuff. I can't remember. The Crooked Cook, which was Exodia, but I would stall the game out for like 40 turns. Yeah, that was a good one. Could I go ahead and sell you? Could go ahead and sell you. There's a lot of fun decks in that game. I'm so sad Arena's gone. Don't be sad it's gone, be happy. Be glad that happened. I actually didn't get to play the new arena with like Alistair and some of the other cameos in it. I haven't really been in a tremendous arena mood, in all honesty. Arena generally, like speaking, when it does come around, like I'm always happy to have it, but then I think like that's when I'm most historically, when it has arrived, is when I'm like at the most peak of like burnout from League of Legends, because it's a high variance game. Because like you could play perfectly, but like if somebody god rolls, there's, you know, and that's the way the game should be. But it does also mean that like you can have quite a long string of like not doing well, and there's not a tremendous amount you can do about it except for like just be better, I guess. Let's go ahead and sell some of our adults here. Can we It's a painted common. That's 10. That's a pack in and of itself. $5 for you as well. $5. This is the most perfect game, I would say, for pretending that you're paying attention on a Discord call while still technically playing a video game. There's no doubt about it. That's exactly what this game is. I like this, the Vampire Survivors mode that they did. Yeah, it's Swarm. Yeah. I quite enjoyed that one as well. I mean, I certainly made enough videos on it, and you know that I love Survivor likes. Before stream, I was finishing off my 20 days till dawn, or 20 minutes till dawn run on my phone. And I had 14 minutes left, and I didn't think it would be a big deal because I was pooping anyway. And then by the time that I was done with the run, I tried to stand up and my legs were not having it, man. My legs were like completely numb from sitting down for too long. I'll do it again though. I'm vibing with the one run a day maybe. Although granted that was leftover from last night, but still. "20 minutes isn't what I've tried yet." It's generally like considered one of the good ones, like one of the better Survivor leagues, I'd say. Soulstone Survivors as well. Bizarrely enough, the weird Hololive one people like really like, and I have played, but I couldn't tell you what it's called or any of the characters that are in it. I'm aware that they're VTubers, but I'm just not like in that. Like I know Sunny, and that's like kind of it. I'm not really in that realm. You play the DRG one. Which one's that? What's that called? Oh, is it called Holocure? Is that what it's called? Is it? What's Hololive then? Is that a different company? Yeah, there's a guy who's like, he's not from Glasgow. I saw him on Instagram Reels when I was sitting on the toilet one time. He's doing his garden up, and it's actually got me like mega gassed to like work on the garden. But like it's difficult because like B works. I technically work, although I would not necessarily call what I'm doing work. Like I'm really glad that like His Majesty's Revenue and Customs actually don't see how I earn my money, and it's literally doing this sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And but yeah, man, I'm eager, man. I'm eager. Hololive is a company that owns all the IP. Holocure is a free fan-made game. Oh, the Deep Rock Galactic one? Yeah, I played the demo for that. I don't think I played the main one, though. Hololive offered to pay the guy making it. He was like, yeah, nah, I do it out of love. Good for him, but also, like, what the hell does it change if he just takes the money? Like, it changes, like, literally nothing, though, right? No? They pay him, like, 10 grand. They make it $1.50, and then people who have money be like, do you have to be like wealthy or independently wealthy to like watch VTubers? Because I feel like they definitely have a really solid like ratio of like oil barons to like regular viewers. He doesn't want the corpo to own it. Sure, that's fair enough. But I mean, like, he's kind of like lucky in some regard, because like they very easily could just be like, well, you're not going to sell it to us, take it down. And he'd have to, because it's obviously not his intellectual property to be playing with. So honestly, quite a brave gambit to run. Good for him that it didn't end up going badly, but like that could have gone real bad, frankly. They can't make him take it down. He doesn't make money from it. They can ask him to take it down for sure. They 100% can ask him. It doesn't matter if he doesn't make any money. Rather, like, what do you think? Like free Pokemon fan mods are taken down like all the time. It's about intellectual property, man. It ain't got nothing to do with money. It's a misuse of intellectual property, some would say. 4, thank you very much for the raid. How you doing, matey? What you been playing? If you've been playing League of Legends and that's where you've come from, I'd like to introduce you to like Visual Whiplash. 4's probably absolutely racking it on the Rift, whereas we, on the other hand, are... I don't know, we're feeding some fish, man. I don't know, man. League has been criminal. It's been pretty criminal for me today, but I did win every game. But I definitely didn't deserve to win every game, so like you take what you get, I suppose. Even if they legally can, they can't do it without causing outrage among the consumers. Oh yeah, for sure. That you're totally right on that one, Felon. It's definitely different when like Nintendo do it when they take down a Pokemon game, because like they do not care if there's like public backlash about like a fan game getting taken down, because they are Nintendo, and as such they're gonna be like, come 2-3 years down the line after the fan mod's taken down, they're like, here's another mainline Pokemon game. Just make sure that you are always playing docked, and if it starts to rain or you go near any body of water, please like look at the ground so the frame rate can keep up. And everybody's like, waiter, more slop please. And I'm saying that I love Scarlet and Violet, by the way, but it is complete slop for sure. It's 100% slop. 100% slop. Hololive just said the public backlash against it is not worth it at all. They're not as big as Nintendo, who can literally massacre a small village and people would still buy the next Zelda game for $100 for sure. That I honestly, like, somebody was like, are you gonna play the new Doom game earlier? And I appreciate this on Game Pass, and that's pretty swag, because I may end up actually playing on Game Pass, because that's generally speaking apparently where I play like actually genuinely new AAA games now. But looked on Steam, $70. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Like, are we Is this for real? We being serious here? We've crossed the Rubicon, man. We're doomed. We're cooked. I'm sorry to say, but the Rubicon has been crossed, man. Sell you for $10. Sell you for $10. Sell you for $5. Wow, you're hungry little things, aren't you? Jeez, oh man. So hungry. You know what? We're gonna buy. Gonna buy a lot of guys. An epic painted common. Painted common. A rare. Rare. Epic. Rare. Common. Painted common. Rare. Swag. Alright, start the show. Golden common. When I posted, cause I forgot if it was Gul'dan who was like the one that opened up the dark portal in World of Warcraft, or if he was like the guy that was in Hearthstone. I need WoW heads who are like lore masters to not like murder me on that one for describing it in such a way. But I made like that short about how the Minecraft movie is literally the plot of like the Warcraft movie from like, I guess it must have been like 13 years ago. And the only way that I could genuinely remember the name of the character was me having to go Gul'dan versus Jaina, and then that was all the comments were on that short. It was just like, bro literally uses the Hearthstone voice to remember a character. Or like, bro like seamlessly slipped into the Hearthstone voice to try and remember the name of a character. But that's where my my body of expertise lies, man. I've decided personally just never to buy another piece of Nintendo merch, game console. I hate how they're acting. The thing is, and the thing that's probably the most annoying thing about it, is it's not like it's like Ubisoft or like EA, which I think are the same thing. Like one owns the other. EA owns Ubisoft. And that like Nintendo unfortunately do actually make good games fairly regularly. Well, not fairly regularly, but like enough. Well, wait, more than enough, right? And that's like hella annoying. And I can appreciate that, because like if it was like a bad game company, you'd be like, whatever, right? I'm not gonna give you my money. But when they actually do on occasion drop complete bangers, that's highly debatable. Well, I mean, is it? I mean, like, I guess, like, if you don't care. I mean, I guess this is a bit biased, right? I don't know. They do make good games, man. I, like, thoroughly enjoyed the Kirby game recently. That's the most recent Nintendo game that I've played, I think. That was only, like, $30, so, and I had a great time. At least you don't ship unfinished slop. They do love to ship, like, unoptimized games sometimes. Like, the new Pokemon game was kind of a mess, admittedly, but yeah, I don't know. At the same time though, like I still put like over 100 hours into it, so like, you know, what am I talking about? I think like 90% of Nintendo games are unoriginal, uninspired garbage. But like, okay, sure, but like they kind of invented it though, right? Like it might be uninspired, but at least they're like kind of just ripping themselves off at this point, right? They obviously, like, every main franchise that they have is like one. They're not making new IPs, right? Like they're just like Miyamoto. Wait, no, that's not the. Miyamoto's Mario, right? Whoever the head of like Nintendo is just throws a dart at a board and he's like, okay, this year we will do Metroid game. This year, Donkey Kong. Now, what's another one? Okay, we're gonna do Fire Emblem. But still, they did kind of invent like half of that stuff. So they like at one point were the goats, and actually they were the goat. They've been the goats more longer than they haven't been the goats. Like everybody was insane. You may not have been alive, or you may not have had like a developed prefrontal cortex at the time. But like when it was PlayStation versus Xbox. Like PlayStation 4 versus 360, everybody couldn't see the forest for the trees. That like the Wii was absolutely cream pieing them from start to finish, man. From the start of its life cycle, man. Everybody was so busy like, no, Xbox has got more sales, PS4's got more sales, or what PS3's got more sales, sorry. And it was like, brother, look up. Look up to the heavens and see what's happening. See where you are. I've definitely been a flip-flopper. I can safely say that I'm not brand loyal. I think people that are... do you know what's crazy to me? There are still, like, Twitter accounts that, like, dedicate themselves to, like, the console wars. And is that not the most, like... It's like... Have you seen the article of the guy, like the Japanese soldier who spent 40 years on an island thinking that the war's still going? And they had to bring his like captain from the war to dismiss him from duty because he didn't believe that it was happening. Like, brother, the war is over, man. We're done. We don't have to keep fighting this fight, man. Nobody cares about the Xbox, man. Nobody, like, I mean, people care about the Xbox, but like, we don't have to keep doing this, man. Like, the one, it's not that deep, man. But some people, man, they just need to fight for something, man. And I guess if you don't fight for something, you'll fall for anything. I don't know. I guess if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. God's strongest soldier. Yeah. He better got like a medal, man. Like dead ass. Like he like if that guy didn't get, I wonder if he did. Probably got like the Japanese equivalent, like the Purple Heart or something. I don't know. But like, bro dedicated like literally like 2/3 or 3/4 of his entire life to like guerrilla tactics on an island, and then somebody came along and was just like, brother, it's the 80s, man. What are you doing? And he's like, huh? Brother, the war ended 40 years ago, man. What are you doing? I still meet PC gamers that refuse to use controllers because they say controllers are for consoles and bad. Yeah, but like they can... Yeah, but they're just losing out, man. I'm sorry, but like if you like, do you know what the whole point of the PC like is? And that was like why it was like so good at the beginning. I think people have like lost the whole point of why people even started PC gaming to begin with. First of all, like deeper games, I guess, because like you didn't really get like CRPGs, ARPGs. Well, I don't know about ARPGs, but CRPGs back on a. I mean, you guess you could, but like they weren't as good. I guess I'm getting sidetracked. But also like customization, customability. Like the whole thing was that you can kind of play how you want to play it. And there's generally speaking, there's mods, there's stuff you can do. Like, so like if you're not playing with the controller on your PC, I don't think you're using it to its maximum potential. You know, Command and Conquer on a console. I had Age of Empires 2 on the PlayStation 2, man. Let's have a conversation about intuitive game design. You ever tried to like micro monks into an army with a analog stick? It has never been more satisfying to hear whoa, lo, 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 but still, man, it's a very difficult game to play. I had multiplayer on it as well, would you believe? But it was like multiplayer only in LAN, so you had to get like an Ethernet cable, another TV, and then like hook up two PlayStation 2s together. All of that effort to play Age of Empires 2 on the PlayStation 2, man. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Hello, little fishies. I love my little fishies. We need to start working towards, you know what? Just keep buying me. We should maintain a high level of... Oh! Did I just see what I think I saw? Legendary! By Jove, Governor. Oh, we got so many epics. Painted rare. Where is that legendary? I don't recognize it in the thing, but I guess it's going to take forever to get it going there. I refuse to use controllers because I'm bad at them. If you, like, listen, if you don't, like, have a if you don't want to use controllers, nobody's forcing you to. I think the point is that, like, there's a lot of games on PC that, like, or just a lot of games in general that generally feel better if played with a controller. And it's also a different vibe, man. You know, it's a infinitely different, more different vibe than playing on a mouse and keyboard. You play on a controller, you can do a little bit of leaning. You can kind of chill out just a notch, right? Like you're playing Diablo 4, you're playing Diablo 3, whatever on your controller, on the PC. You can hybrid it as well, right? Like you can at the grinding parts, we were just going through like, what are they called? Rifts? I can't remember what they're called. Whatever. I think it's rifts, but I'm not sure. Like the end game part, you can just do it on your controller and stuff like that. And I mean, I probably wouldn't do it if you're playing a hardcore, but like, you know, you can get some good stuff going there, and just get into the grind and get into just playing the game in a chill manner. But then, yeah, I mean, also the first Dark Souls, even the controller controls, I think, were really weird on release. If I recall, I personally find Dark Souls unplayable on keyboard and mouse. I don't know why, man. Like, but like also, it's like kind of Japanese developers, like they tend to always make games that are controller, like at least well ported for a controller for the most part, just because, like, you know, they're a console dominated society, I suppose. I'm with you. I gave up the entire series because of my experience with Dark Souls 1. Have you still never really played like the Dark Souls series, Crash? What I would recommend, well, I mean, I guess like I don't need to tell you that. Like I would probably say if you're looking to get into the Dark Souls series, you start at 3. 3 is like by and large the most accessible one. And then once you've like really gotten to grips with like how the game operates, you can go back to the first 2. That's what happened to me. Like I like loved watching videos on Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 is a bit of a contentious game, I think, for a lot of people. But you know, I played it and I bounced off of it, but I still like loved the concept and I loved the lore and I loved the videos on it. I loved learning about the world. I just couldn't play it, man. But then afterwards, like after playing Dark Souls 3, kind of like having something click and be like, all right, I get it now, actually. Yeah, you could go back and you get like a little bit more of like my issue, personally, my issue was I was like sword and shield pilled and it sucks. I hate sword and shields now. He said it clicked, it clicks. He said it clicks. 2 nobodies fighting over nothing at the end of time. What are you talking about, fella? I love the lore, I love the style. Funnily enough, like actually thematically less interested in what George R.R. Martin brings to the table. Is that weird? I don't know, man. I think I preferred like a lot of the characters and lore from like previous Dark Souls games or Souls-likes, as opposed to the George R.R. Martin like kind of vibe. But that's like purely thematic. Like gameplay wise, I appreciate that like Elden Ring is like tighter and like also infinitely more accessible, but also like in a way a little bit more difficult to not to get into, but like it's obviously like not a completely linear experience. So with Dark Souls 3 or like other Dark Souls games, at the very least you kind of only have a couple of directions you can go in with. Like, there's a little bit of variance. You might hit one area before you hit another one, something like that, but it's much more of a guided tour of Lordaeron or wherever the hell you are happen to be. Is that right? Lordaeron? Is that third one? Is that what the world's called? I gave up in Dark Souls 1 in Blighttown. Well, yeah, because there's a billion ladders, it's pitch black, and everything poisons you. So yeah, I appreciate that. That's yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you're not wrong for it, man. You know, there's no need to justify bouncing off a game. A lot of people bounce stuff like Cuphead and stuff like that. A lot of game journalists couldn't get through the tutorial. Is what it is. George R.R. Martin's worlds are cool, but his books I just couldn't. I read most of Game of Thrones books and wish I hadn't because the show was so much better. Yeah, I mean, are you much of a reader, Eggbeard? Like, I presume you read, but like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you prefer to like engage with media if it has a version that is of a media that you prefer, I suppose. I missed the boat on Game of Thrones very, very hard. And then every single time somebody was like, you need to watch Game of Thrones, it has like naked women in it and like sex and stuff. I was like, first of all, I don't know why you think that would make me want to watch a TV show. But since you told me to watch it, I'm adding 1 extra week onto the amount of time that I will not watch it. And it's 2025 and I've still never watched an episode, so. Here we are. I guess the thing is, it went quite mainstream. So like, there's no disrespect, but there's like a lot of normies that watched it, I suppose, but that had never really, I guess, like never really were into fantasy or something. But like, it's just, I don't know how you sell somebody on a TV show by like, yeah, this TV show is great if you want to be uncomfortable if somebody else walks in the room while you're watching it. Fantastic. Like, it's bad enough like watching Lethal Weapon with your parents and then like Murtaugh, no, not Murtaugh. Which one does Mel Gibson play? Gets into like a steamy sex scene or something like that, and you're like, ah, brother. And he's like bedding Murtaugh's daughter or something. It's like, oh man. There is plenty of peak Japanese game design in all the Dark Souls series where it's like the most esoteric reason for something happening. Like, I mean, I presume that there is reasons for it, but like, are we like when you're in Dark Souls 3 and you climb down the staircase in High Hrothgar, is it? I think, and you fight Bort of the Boreal Valley, or Vort of the Boreal Valley, right? And you beat him, and you're like, yes, first boss is down. Success! I have beaten the first High Hrothgar from Skyrim. What's it called? Lothram? High Lothram? Is it Lothram? I can't remember. The first main area, well, not first main area. Anyway, how much the legendary fish sold for? I don't think I haven't sold it yet. I don't know where it is. It hasn't grown up to be a big boy yet. Anyway, you beat Vort of the Boreal Valley. The music plays. It's a fantastic introduction fight for like the first big boss of the game. And then like you go to the edge of the bridge and like some gargoyles like pick you up or something. Or there's one game where some gargoyles pick you up, I swear, and I can't remember which one. It might not be Vort of the Boreal Valley, but there's one where some gargoyles like pick you up and take you somewhere, and I just remember being like, where the hell did the gargoyles come from, man? Like, is it Lothram? I'm not gonna lie to you lads, like, let's be honest, man, like every fantasy setting is complete nonsense words anyway, right? Like, it is difficult to remember them all the time, man. Like, I don't mean to sound like your parents when you try and describe to them what an Azeroth is, but like, brother. There is definitely one in Dark Souls 3, I recall, where it's specifically like some winged beasts that like pick you up by the arms and like fly you somewhere else. I cannot remember where it is though. I don't remember the Iron Golem though. I don't know though. I'm not sure. Fantasy words are made up like regular words. Is how words work. Yeah, for sure. But I'm also saying like that's true. But I'm also saying like don't hate me when I can't remember like what the setting of like one of the Dark Souls games is, right? I'll tell you, like, I could name a bunch of the bosses, but I certainly couldn't name, like, I can name more bosses than areas, put it that way. What are you? $8. And a little snaily boy. But anyway, yeah, there's just, like, I don't know. It's just Japanese game design. We wouldn't get it, man. I like Japanese. Make up words for simple things and can join them. Why have a word for ankle? We already have foot and neck. It's a foot and neck. I mean, that's like basically like German words, right? German does that as well. They have a lot of like compound words that are like 4 smaller words put into one larger word that is like basically just a description of what that thing is. I do think that it's funny that like, what is it, like Kyle turned into a frog or something, like Kairu is Kyle, but then there's also like frog or turning into something about a frog is like the word Kairu. So if you're trying to see like Kaido turned into a frog, it's like Kaido, 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 Kaido. Or so I can't remember what it is. I saw an Instagram reel about it or something. If you don't know the exact circumference of Frank Horrigan's bumhole in Fallout 2, I will be at you. Did Twitch actually give you the little thing that's like, are you sure you want to send that message? I think it might have been because you saying you're going to behead me, but yeah. Fallout 2 is a great example of why people used to buy PCs and play games on PCs. Because it just wouldn't work on a I just don't think it could ever work on a TV. Let's sell my little fishy. Sell my little fishy. Let's buy some more fish. Tank is full. You already know it. A pleco? Got another pleco? What, is that a lobster? Every time Twitch warns me of a message, I click don't send and forget crash your mod. Just give a single. This is not like, I don't know, man. I think David is actually like a little bit more trigger happy than Crash is, because like I saw it. I actually checked the unbanned requests. People don't get banned from here very regularly, and I was like, I wonder. Certainly not enough to make content on. I'll tell you that much for free. But like I did check it, and there was one in there, and it was somebody who had just asked one single question, and it was, do you drink bread or eat milk? And that was it. And David permabanned the person, and I was like, God damn. Okay. That's I don't know. I presume there was like one other message, but I think the message was like hello, or it was something completely innocuous, and then they launched into like a bit of a strange question. You didn't answer it. I remember reading it out, and then I think I was like, I don't know what you're saying, or I don't know what you want me to tell you here. But David killed on site. He was locked and loaded in no uncertain terms, man. I don't know, like, so he must have been having a bad day, man. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, somebody got a permaban, and then like the response, like the unbanned request was like, just like, I don't know what I said, and I'm kind of looking at it like, I don't really know what you said either, frankly, but anyway, denied. A little preco. Isn't butter / cheese basically just eating milk? I guess, yeah. But then, like, you don't want to think about, like, when you go to Tesco and get, like, a burger that you're eating, like, a horse's toenail or something, or, like, you're eating a horse's bumhole, or their balls or something. But that's probably what you're eating. Well, once upon a time. Who said that? Who said what? Hello, Larry, by the way. How are you? There was like I don't know, that sounds silly for me to say, but there was like a big scandal in the UK. Because like Tesco got caught selling like horse meat as like regular beef or something. And granted, probably nobody told. I mean, I've probably eaten horse, man, I guess. I don't like how they circle the track here. I don't think they circle the pellets but don't actually eat them. Iceland was the worst for it. Maybe, I guess, like a bunch of them. It's probably, I mean, it was probably a bunch of them that got, I mean, I'm just presuming that Asda as well, like all of them did, but like I think the moral of the story is that people cannot tell the difference between beef and horse. I think is the main thing that we should take away from that, which I guess is like scary in some regard, but also I'm not really that fussed about it, so I'm not really about to be like, I was violated. This is why you eat people instead. It's so true. Farm to table. Not yet. What do you mean not yet? People will soon be able to tell horse and beef apart, or? It's crazy that that's like, generally speaking, like quite a big thing to happen, but actually there wasn't really a tremendous outcome as far as I can remember. Like, people moved past it like pretty quickly. But like it would be like if like Corn or one of these like, you know, vegan supplements for meat companies like just were like, what if we just made it meat and didn't tell them? Like there would be understandable huge amounts of outrage. Like if somebody wants beef and you, I mean it's like, I mean I think like one of the things you obviously don't do is you don't tamper with people's food, right? Like I think we're all human, normal, well-adjusted people for the most part, I would argue. But I'd say that like, for instance, like I think as soon as you step into the realm of like somebody like being a fast food, and to be clear with you, like I could appreciate why you would want to do that, right? You want to spit in someone's burger, you want to like put your toe in it or something like that, like just dip your toe in the Big Mac sauce, right? I get it, man. Work sucks. I know. Late night, come home. Work sucks. I know. She left me roses by the stairs. Surprises let me know she cares. Say it anyway. But the second that you get into like actual food tampering, it's like we gotta get the feds involved here, man, because this is like you've taken like this is a step too far. I don't like we must crack down on it with great fury, because I don't want to be sat at like a restaurant thinking like, oh, I need the person who, I know that this is no disrespect to like the chefs or anyone like that. You guys work hard, and honestly, I don't envy your position. I wanted to be a chef when I was like younger, but then I realized I didn't have a strong enough taste for cocaine to like be actually capable of becoming a chef, and that's one of the paths you have to go down. Sure, but I need them to know that like if they do put a big cheesy toe in my food, that like their life is ruined. They're going to jail. They're going to prison. Okay, they need to know. Okay, because I don't know if that's the first and only line of defense against me getting a number 15 Burger King foot lettuce, but like there has to be some kind of repercussion for it. Worked in a cafe food place for over 3 years, didn't witness, wasn't told about anyone tampering with food during the whole time. Yeah, good, because like that's probably, it's like a normal restaurant, right? But it only takes like one person who like puts their ball sack in McDouble, right, to give the franchisee like a bad reputation. You know what I mean? Because like all it takes is one person wiping their asshole with a like a McChicken sandwich, and then everybody's gonna be like, oh, that's the McAss chicken sandwich shop, man. And you don't want that, man. As a franchisee, you certainly don't be wanting that. We sell some fish here. Wonderful. That one was actually making a lot of money per day. That was like $6 a day. But why make $6 in one day when you can make $5 in now? Thoughts? Let me get some economists in this. Brrr. This game is unfathomably chill, man. We got another pack. How did Funger go yesterday? Funker went pretty well. It was definitely like I mean, the game is a learning curve, and the learning curve is a cliff, and the learning is you being beaten to death. But yeah, I mean, I haven't played it in a long time, and I always watch more than I played, so it's, yeah. We fought one of the guards, like the elite guards, and I killed him, but I did lose Terrence, who was my ghoul. So it probably realistically wasn't worth it in the end. We lost a man. I'm regretting picking Enki as well, because I'm like, I wanted to try something new that I hadn't done before, but like I actually genuinely don't think I understand how the hexing system works in any. I mean, I guess I need to just go get myself some like, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Soul stones, but still. Terrence kind of just was a drain on the resources. Like, he was like, he's dead, right? He's not alive. He's like a ghoul. He's like a reanimated, shambling corpse. But he's also hungry. And he needed like a sandwich every like 15 minutes, which doesn't really, I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, if I was like a necromancer and then like my merciless, like completely malevolent beings of the night that would just destroy, ravage, pillage. Everything I asked him to was asking for like a meatball marinara sandwich every day. I'd be like, this is gonna weigh on the budget like quite heavily actually. And if you're gonna like eat a sandwich every day because you're a ghoul, at the very least you could like equip a weapon. And he didn't. He was just punching things. So like, I don't know. It's slightly difficult. I appreciate that. I know it's soulstones, but like at the same time, dying to one of the already headless enemies is always a fun experience. Yeah, cracking his head open and then him having like one last dying death rattle, like one swan song to end my life was always was good news, man. Good news. Let's sell some fishies here. Sell some fishies here. There's gotta be like a sell button. Is there a sell? Okay, I'm gonna have to just like, it's like aim labs but for Chillquarium. Oh yes. Rents due, brother. Worst thing we had was this business guy looking man came in. We got his food wrong 3 times in a row. He only had an hour on his lunch, so decided to go back to work hungry. As an apology, we gave him a hot chocolate to go. We watched him leave the shop, go to drink it. We had not secured the lid on it, and he spilled that mother right down his suit jacket and just screamed. Yeah, I have like, I mean I worked in like bars and restaurants for like only a couple of years, so it wasn't like a tremendous amount of time, and this was like 14 years ago or something like that. But there definitely was a couple of situations where like I do want to say to the person like, sorry buddy, but it really isn't your day today, is it? Because like, you know, I would put the order through, it would come out wrong. I don't know, I'm not gonna check exactly what it is. I'm just gonna go take it to a table. They flag me down, it's wrong. I say sure, no problem. Go back, it's wrong again. I take it back, and then yeah, or like, and then it finally does come, and it's like cold, or it's mushy, or it's bad, and they don't like it, and I'm like, sorry, man. Like, I'll tell them, but like, I'm not really gonna tell them. I'm just gonna go put it through and be like, yeah, it's whatever. They don't want it anymore. So I'll get your money back. You'll get your money back, but you're not getting your food, unfortunately. It just happens. Sometimes people are just tremendously unlucky. Not really much you can do about it, unfortunately. I totally get, like, this is your day off and you're looking to, like, not have to deal with this and you're trying to relax. But, I don't know, man. What did you do in your past life? Because you're answering for it now, brother. So, like, just make sure you watch your mouth, because remember when Anubis weighs your soul against the weight of a feather? You better hope it comes up later, brother. I think the worst thing, I genuinely, like, the hard, like, because like, you can feel bad for people, right? Like, and you do feel bad when bad stuff happens to people when you're in customer service. Like, you're like, oh, that sucks. But like, depending on their attitude, it can get like infinitely more difficult than it's worth to pretend that you care. And that, like, there's when I was working for like John Lewis in their call center, there was people who were like getting very overly like excited about how their lampshade came, and it said £3 on it, but then they opened up the package and it had a sticker that said £1.50 on it, and they're calling for waiting for 40 minutes through a customer service helpline to get a hold of me. And like, I've definitely, like, it's like, I want to say like I was like the Liam Neeson sometimes of like call center representatives. Like, sometimes I would be just like, I will make it my lifelong mission. I will not go home until I have sorted this problem for you. And then I hang up the phone, I put it in the notes, and I just go, right, well, they're hopefully not gonna get me again. The worst thing was when some, like, this is gonna sound really bad. I said like 15 times in 10 seconds, because I feel like I've been getting better for it, but I'm still not good at it. I'm sorry. I remember there was a guy, this person called on like Black Friday or something like that. Black Friday, very, very busy time of the year. calls waiting of like up to an hour. And also on Black Friday, there was like a problem with a courier, like a delivery thing. And the wait for that was like ages, man. So I get a call through. And the person is like, this is wrong. This has happened. Where's my order? And I'm telling them, I'm like, I'll check it. No information. I'm like, okay, right. I gotta call up the courier. So I says, listen, I can call you back if you want, but this is gonna be a long wait because the airlines are all backed up, and I can't ask you to sit here for a while. You know. The person says, no, it's fine, I'll wait. And I said, you do know that this is gonna be like 40-45 minutes. Average wait time. I said that's fine. So anyway, I put him on hold. I put it through to the courier. Then I was there for like an hour. And I did not get the news that this person, by the way, is on hold the entire time. This is really bad. Please don't judge me. I was like 18, 19. Did not get the news that I wanted to hear because they had no idea where his thing is, right? So what I did was I hung up the phone to the courier, but I did not go back on to the call with the guy. And I sat on the BBC website playing games for like another 45 minutes until the guy eventually hung up. And at that point, I was like, he's now someone else's problem. He is now someone else's problem. That's not my problem anymore. He did not. Honestly, man, I was about to put the call back onto him, man. He did not have diamond hands. I did love waiting on hold to open reach for an hour when I worked in the call center. Brilliant time to read a book and mess with your stats. Here was my trick at working in a call center, right? I was a temporary agent. I was only there for like the Christmas period. So from like, I don't know, October, November-ish to like January. They told us about our targets and the expectations with which we had to meet. And they gave us our logins to check our targets to make sure we were hitting our targets. My trick was I never logged into it once because I didn't care. I was answering the calls and I was telling people what they needed to do. And I was giving them the information they needed, and people were being answered in the time that I deemed fit. But I'm just gonna let you know: you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. You need bodies on the floor. I am a body, and I'm answering the calls. That's fine. But I don't care about a target. I'm sorry, my manager would come up to me and be like, "We check your targets and blah blah blah." I was like, "No, I have not. No." And we're getting absolutely slammed the calls, and in my brain, our manager was the worst, but he wasn't like the worst in that he was a bad guy. He was like annoying because like he thought he was like one of us in a way, right? He was not one of us. He was in the same room for all of us as our training, and something seemed off about him because I was like, what the hell is a guy who's like, you know, looks like there's something about the way he looked, right, that looked middle management to me, right? I could just tell, okay? And then like about a week or two into training, he stood up and was like, by the way guys, I'm actually your manager. It was like a very very like a Michael Scott situation where it's like, I was the manager the whole time, and I'm like, have I said anything incriminating to this person? Like, I don't think so, but then from that point forward, I was like, there is no shot that I'm interacting with you from now on ever. Because like somebody like a manager that would do that kind of maneuver, I'm like, all right, well, okay, we're not tangoing in that way. We'll work together. We will technically work together, but yeah, sorry, boss, we're not we ain't gonna be like that. Painted legendary. Mythic. What's that? Where are you? Where's the? Is it that one? Oh my god! Wait, no, that's an epic. Never mind. That's the mythic, brother. It's got over 500,000 XP. You gotta be kidding me. come in 30 minutes early, get your system ready, read your stats and customer surveys, pay me for it. Yeah. I like was not a great worker. I answered the calls and I helped people in a vaguely timely manner, right? Buy better food. I need $1,000 for that, man. Unfortunately, I need 10. Oh my god, I need 10 grand. Oh my god, I thought it was a grand. But like at the same time, like I know that you and I both know that I'm not staying here for any tremendous length of time, and I don't want to be here any longer than I have to. Like, you can be a career call center worker, I suppose. To be fair, if I was on the emails team, I probably would have stuck around easily, right? But I just wasn't. I didn't enjoy it, right? I just didn't love it. I don't know how many. Some people do. I sat next to a woman, and I thought she was she was a seasonal hire as well. And she was like, "You one of the new hires?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "How long have you been here?" And she was like, "15 years." And I was like, "Geez, oh." Anyway, there's nothing wrong with it, but you need to be of a certain personality type, I think, to be able to handle it, and I just don't think I am. Anyway. I stayed there for like 3-4 months. They did not renew my contract, as you would probably assume based on how terrible of a worker I just disclosed that I was. Yeah. And they transferred me and a few others to work from home in a bilingual chatting service. I think the most annoying thing with the call center was that, like, even if there was nothing happening, because like I also worked on like New Year's Eve and stuff like that, and like Christmas Eve, and I probably got like 3 calls in a day. But like if you had your phone on you, or like, and granted I didn't really have a good phone then that had internet on it, so like it wasn't really that big of a deal, but like you couldn't read a book at your desk, or you couldn't really do anything. So every time I'd have to like try and be on the BBC website and keep my eyes open. And I appreciate that it's because you could like write down the numbers or the names of the people that you're on the phone with, but like still, I don't know. This game's got me by the nuts here. We've been playing for an hour. Oh my god. You know what? We're gonna call it there for Chillquarium. This game is $5, and it is. I mean, look at what happened to me, man. I blinked and it's been an hour. All we've been doing is talking the whole time. I greatly appreciate you spending some time with me. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep fishing, bros. Keep on fishing. Never stop fishing. But I'll open up 2 more packs. Rare. That's 1 adult fish worth. That is true. That is 1 singular adult fish worth of money in real life. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. I'll see you next time.